Alpena City Open, for me, is the event that I circle every year. And I think a lot of people at a lot of clubs have something very similar, whether it's member or third flight at their club championship or some scramble they want to win. I think the characters, Benny and Eric, there's always the best golfer. There's a guy who parties too much. I think all of them are very relatable to a lot of people. And this event is my major. I'm going to go get some lessons from some Dunning pros, thanks to Dunning. It's my favorite shirt. We're going to work on putting with Morgan Pressel, driving with Bryce Emery. They're going to give me tips that will, help me improve my game. Morgan, I don't want to say I was nervous about what's going to just happen on the putting green, but I burned my Dunning shorts because I turned the iron on and it was face down. And I got in at 3 a.m. and I was practicing my putting stroke on a tile floor at 6 a.m. this morning. So I am so sorry for what's about to happen.
Are you setting the expectation?
Yeah,
are you setting excuses already? Come on.
100%.
No, you've got this.
All right, to the putting green. Don't know. I don't know how you're not nervous in this situation. Morgan's super laid back, super nice, wonderful. But she's played with and seen and been one of the best players in the world. And and one of the best putters in the world. And now she's going to look at your stroke. And you feel like I've had a pretty good year for me. Feel pretty confident about my putting stroke until you're in this moment. Then you're like, man, I am screwed. We're gonna watch. Morgan Pressel's gonna look at my putting stroke. Also, Morgan Pressel has her own cart, and it's way faster than this cart that is barely going. The goal today is to not shit my pants in front of a major winner. Let's keep the first putt within the goal is to keep this first putt within 6 feet from 10 feet. All right.
How do you want to start?
I just want you to look at my stroke.
Okay, well, let's see it. Hit a few putts. And let me watch you for a minute.
Okay.
All right, let's see it. Just hit a few. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna observe.
Am I nervous? Yes. Okay. Oh my God, I drained it.
Wow, that's a good start. Look at that. Okay. My work here is done. I mean, that was pretty easy.
See you, everybody.
There are so many small nuances to putting. I mean, it's like the most nuanced thing you can really do in golf because there's the stroke, there's the line, there's the speed, there's the art of reading the green. There's, when you walk up to a green, pay attention to how the slopes are. Where are the low areas? Where are the high areas? And that can give you kind of a almost step back from the putt in itself. Sometimes we get so focused on what is happening right around this putt, but step back and kind of see the general slopes. Are you in a mountainous area? Is there a really high area and a really low area? Generally, it's going to trend that way. I always kind of think, which way would water drain? Yeah. It's if it's pouring rain, which way is the water going to go? Because your golf ball's going to go the same way because it's just gravity taking it to the low areas. I like your forward press. What do you struggle with the most when you putt? What do you feel like is your weakness?
I hit I toe a lot of putts, Morgan. I don't know, I assume it's just, and I think, as a lot of amateurs, I do this on the full swing too, is I don't know, I know I toe a lot of putts, but I don't know enough to know why, right? Am I pulling it inside?
I haven't seen you toe any. Keep trying. Let's see it. You hit that ever so slightly on the toe.
Yeah.
But you set up a little bit that way.
When you say I set up, You mean I put the club behind it on the toe?
It was just slightly
Okay.
on that first one, not
All
on
right.
the second one.
I don't think I've ever done a putting drill.
So let's see, watch his left wrist break down a bit through this. Oh no, you didn't do it.
Oh.
There you go, good stroke. The first one you did. Really good.
So when you say I'm doing this,
Just on the first one you did.
Yeah.
Not on those two.
and is that, and back to what you were saying, Morgan, is like, can be shoulder related too, right? Like I'm up.
A little bit.
Okay.
It's not dramatic. It's
yeah.
very subtle.
Okay.
You have a very good putting stroke.
Cut that one too. We're just gonna put those two together.
You're making my job harder today
I know, I appreciate it. This is,
because your putting stroke's too good.
it's great news. This is great news. That'll be up.
I like this
Before we
forward.
get
I
out
like
of
the
the-
forward press. Yeah, that one backed up a fraction.
Are you trying to keep your rhythm the same on a 5 foot? Like,
Same.
yeah, so.
Always the same.
So like 60 feet to 5 feet, it should be the same
Should be the
flow,
same.
it's just the distance back. Got
Yeah.
it. That's where
It
I'm,
should be the same general rhythm. What a lot of people do, and that's why I like the thought of the top of the grip,
yeah.
is a lot of people take it back too short on a long putt and then they accelerate too fast because they know
Yeah,
in their mind
yeah.
they're like, oh, I haven't taken it back far
Yeah.
enough. Now I have to hit this and I have to
Yeah.
give this extra. Whereas if you give it time to go back,
Yeah.
now you don't have to accelerate through the putt because you know that you've given it enough speed going back. So that's definitely a mistake that I see a lot of amateurs make. Let's try this uphill putt over here. There we go.
Boom. We end.
Let's go.
Thank you, Morgan.
I love it.
Legit gave me, like, I came into this and I was like, I don't know enough about putting to know. You know way too much. So I was like, oh man, I'm not sure. This is awesome stuff, really is.
Well, okay, so for you now your homework
Yeah.
is to, the handful of, I said a lot of things today. Granted, we do have it on video, so you
Yeah.
have that to look back on. But what resonated with you and what can you write down?
Yeah, no.
In a simple form. Look at the blade of grass
Yes.
where the ball goes in. Let the backstroke breathe just a little bit. Some of those little thoughts, and you can keep notes in your golf bag with you
Yeah.
to check in on, or, I mean, something that I recommend to anyone is keep a journal of tips and things that you have learned that have worked for you, so that when you are struggling, you can maybe go back and look at that and say, oh, such and such told me this and that really helped. Maybe, because we all have the same tendencies.
Yeah.
My entire career, my entire life playing golf, I have the same issues
Yeah,
that I've been
yeah.
working on for 30 years.
Right.
And for some reason, I still think I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
But so we all kind of tend, especially under pressure, to go back to our tendencies. So it's how can I, in the moments, really commit to what I'm trying to do. I'm impressed with your putting stroke.
Yes,
I'm very
that's
impressed.
all I wanted to hear, Donnie. That's all I got.
I'm very impressed.
Morgan, you're the best.
I think his game's better than he thinks it is. I know he likes to, no one's going to poke more fun at him than himself. I expect him to be competing in this city championship, especially after some of these lessons he's going to have. I think his game's going to be ready.
So like when you say fairway finder, for most amateurs they have one speed, right? Like I don't go after it, but I don't really. So what are you doing to, what's the difference between a fairway finder degrees?
Yeah.
Are you taking a shorter swing? I mean, swing speed, what do you, like, when you hit a fairway finder, what do you do?
I kind of go with what I call my stinger driver. Like
Okay.
I'm going to tee it up barely above 3 wood height.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna burn it on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it as low to the ground as possible, so it can't get
Yeah.
into trouble.
Yeah.
And then to me it becomes like a driver off the deck.
Yeah.
So especially if I got trouble on the left side,
Yeah.
it's really hard to hook a driver off the deck.
Yeah.
At least for me. So
Yeah.
I know, okay, if I need to take left out,
Yeah.
this is the shot I'm hitting.
So like what you're saying, Bryce, is like that. If the big miss is the one I hit,
Yeah.
but with the controlled, like that's in the rough.
That's in the rough. That's, you're finding that one.
Yeah.
Would you describe maybe the two shots that he had before he got to the range as like wide right and wide left?
There was a couple that were pretty far left to start, to say the least. They would have found a fairway. I don't know which one, but He straightened out pretty quickly after that, though. So he was a great student.
Should have got a lesson from Bryce a long time ago. My foul ball with this one just isn't as big.
Yeah.
Why is it marked on this? Can you make an in-round adjustment? If you're like hitting, you said before we got on camera, it's like your miss is a wipey fade. Like is that something you can correct on the 5th hole, 6th hole? I mean, not correct, but at least know what's happening.
Most of the time. I mean, typically, like I said, my miss is a little right. It's because I love to kind of pull it from the top. So when I do that, club gets a little too far in front of me, and now I'm like I got nowhere to go but to back out of it, and I'm not gonna allow myself to flip it and hit it left.
Yeah.
So I tend to kind of send it out to the right. And as soon as I know that, okay, if I gotta feel a little more patience, try to get into the ground a little more so I can get the club a little more from the inside.
Yeah.
And then, from there I know, okay, if I want to fade it, rotate a little more, straight draw, but I got a couple things I'd probably go to if I was hitting those shots, and then sometimes those 2 or 3 things aren't working, and then I go to this shot.
Okay, we're ending on that.
There you go.
That's it. Thanks, Bryce.
If you're gonna play bad, you might as well at least look good.
Yeah, I'm gonna look like I could shoot 72. I might shoot 85, but I'm gonna walk to the tee and they'll be like, might shoot 72 today. Thanks, Bryce.
You'll have 72 at some point.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whether or not it's at the end or.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Thank
absolutely.
you. Thanks, Bryce Emery, Dunning. On to the next part of the game. We're gonna fix this before August 11th.
Bennett is or isn't?
2 years ago, Benny showed up at the first round, kind of became the famous Benny that we all know now.
You fucking show up late,
Okay.
grab an 8-iron, hit
Yep.
4 balls and flip-flops, put your shoes on, set the fucking course record. Just like that. Still drunk.
His foot slipped. Was out till 4 in the morning, woke up at 7, came to the course, still drunk, hit 4 irons or something. He has a little routine he does when he's drunk, and went out and shot 74. So it hasn't changed. Nothing about Benny has changed.
Benny, what are you doing?
Hanging out.
You leave the face so full.
Got something important going on here?
You're gonna hit the
You on Tinder? You swiping? What are you doing?
I said something to Travis.
I'm gambling.
You're gambling? What are you gambling on?
Poker stars.
Everybody knows a Benny. Todd Skiba, the other character of Alpena, good friend of the family, good dude, angry little golfer, should play in the championship flight. He's a good player, but has now gone to the senior flight, which is insane. Todd, you should be ashamed. I hope you're watching this. You should be ashamed of yourself. Oh God!
because I'm not with you there.
Oh, look at Mom's crying. Jesus, Mom.
It's hard for me.
I know.
You know. How are you?
Dad will be cussing me out for my first 3-putt.
Are you
He would
playing
say-
the seniors?
Yeah. Oh my God. Embarrassing.
And it's on Facebook.
So
I went.
I could have played for the last 3 years in senior, but no, I stepped up and played champ.
Stepped up?
I stepped
Well, you're
up.
stepping
Stepped up.
down now.
This is the first time I've gone in the City Open since I've started playing golf again after my kids, that the nerves are because I know if I play 36 good holes, I have a chance. Morgan, Bryce, all great stuff, and here we are, the night of.
This is the 9:24 tee time. First on the tee today, Ryan French.